Hello, I'm Bob Schieffer, and welcome to the CBS Evening News Online edition. Just ahead, a worsening crisis. Violence continues to escalate between Iraq's Shiite and Sunni Muslims. Kimberly Dozier will have details. Also, Secretary of State Condoleezza Rice goes to bat for the deal that would allow a Dubai-based company to run major American ports. And you'll meet a young man who only needed a basketball and 4 minutes to become a hero. It's all starting now on the CBS Evening News Online edition. The death toll alone over the last 2 days in Iraq is staggering. 130 Iraqis killed across the country, more than 40 of them executed, and their bodies dumped in a ditch. And 7 more Americans dead by roadside bombs. All this after one of the Shiite Muslims' most holy shrines was blown up, and Shiites responded by attacking Sunni mosques across Iraq. It got so bad that the Iraqi government today ordered a daylight curfew and canceled all police and army leaves. We're going first to Kimberly Dozier, who is in Baghdad.
It's the worst crisis this country has faced since Saddam fell. Shiites are blaming Sunni militants for the terrorist bombing of one of their holiest shrines. And across the country, ordinary Sunnis have been paying with their lives. More than 100 have been murdered from Baghdad to Basra, including more than 40 victims near Baquba, apparently dragged from their cars at a fake checkpoint and executed. Sunni mosques, too, have been a target for revenge, with more than 100 attacked. Here on the ground, it seems yesterday's shrine bombing has unleashed decades of bitterness over Shiite suffering under Saddam's Sunni rule. And everyone is settling scores at once. The anger also hit the media. In Samarra, an Arab television crew was kidnapped and killed, including Iraqi TV correspondent Atwar Bajat. It's not clear why she was targeted, but her father was Sunni and her mother Shiite. American commanders insist that as bad as all the violence sounds, the public and the media are exaggerating the crisis.
We're not sensing that the people of Iraq are feeling uncomfortable or that the people of Iraq have any heightened sense of insecurity.
But here in Baghdad, Sunnis we've spoken to literally fear for their lives. Omar Kamal has already lost his father and brother to what he believes was a Shiite government death squad.
You've been hiding in different Sunni homes.
After what happened in Samarra, he says nowhere is safe. He says every Sunni family is now hiding in their homes, just waiting for the next Shiite attack. The Iraqi government has blanketed the streets with security, but it's also allowing Shiite militias to patrol, the very armed men the Sunnis most fear.
Which way this conflict goes really depends on what's happening on these streets right now. If there are dozens more Sunni corpses on the streets by daylight, the Sunnis are going to act, Bob.
Kimberly, I want to go back to what this Army spokesman is saying when he says that the Army does not sense that the people of Iraq have any heightened sense of unsecurity, as he called it. I mean, how can somebody say that with what's going on there? Do you get the sense as he was saying what he had been told to say on orders from above?
Well, they insist that according to their information on the ground, according to confirmed reports, most of the protests across the country have been peaceful, that the violence is greatly exaggerated. U.S. officials have also said that if they admit that there's a civil war going on the ground here, all they're going to do is add to the tension, and they're trying to dampen everything down.
It's just very hard to believe this with the numbers of bodies that have been turned up. Well, let me ask you this, and don't go into specifics for the obvious reason, but as journalists, are you all having to take extra security precautions now?
Well, we were all limiting our movements throughout this day, but now the Iraqi government has extended the curfew from now through most of tomorrow, so no one's going to be moving around very much.
All right. Well, thank you, Kimberly. Secretary of State Rice also tried to play a part in calming the bitter feelings in the United Arab Emirates. That's where this whole controversy erupted when the company in Dubai took over a British company and bought the American port rights. David Hawkins went to Dubai to file this report.
Secretary of State Condoleezza Rice flew into the heart of the storm over the management of American seaports today. She said the United Arab Emirates is a good friend and a strong ally in the war on terrorism. Rice said there are no national security reasons to stop a Emirates-owned company, Dubai Ports World, from purchasing a British firm that manages 6 major commercial ports in the United States. After meeting with Secretary Rice today, the UAE's economy minister told me she thinks the political controversy in Washington is the result of an unfortunate misunderstanding.
If this case actually got stopped politically rather than pure trade business, it may just raise concerns with a lot of people about thinking twice about investing in the U.S.
Dubai Port's corporate officials say they want to stay above the political fray, but will do whatever it takes to satisfy American security concerns and make sure the deal goes through.
Security is the responsibility of the U.S. Coast Guard, U.S. Customs, and the local authorities. We implement everything that is asked of us.
Dubai Ports World is based, as you'd expect, here in Dubai, but it's a multinational company that manages more than 30 seaports around the world. But its home port was one of the first to sign on to tighter U.S. anti-terrorism regulations after 9/11. But it's the UAE's 9/11 connections that has critics of the seaport management deal howling. 2 of the hijackers came from the Emirates, and the 9/11 Commission's investigation found that most of the money that funded the al-Qaeda attack flowed through Emirate banks. Rice and other U.S. officials say that since then, U.S.-UAE security cooperation has been excellent. The UAE has made several al-Qaeda arrests. There's a small U.S. Air Force base up the road, and the port of Dubai is the #1 port of call for American warships in the region, the only one that can accommodate aircraft carriers. Bob?
We had planned to bring you a story tonight about a kind of prep school that prepares football players for the NFL draft and big contracts. But we're going to call an audible. We're going to switch sports tonight because we've run across an absolutely amazing basketball player that we want you to see. Here's Steve Hartman.
Greece Athena High School in Rochester, New York, has a new, most unlikely hero, a special ed student by the name of Jason McElwain.
Let's keep it going.
Jason is the basketball team manager. For the past couple years, he's been assisting Coach Jim Johnson, helping with whatever the team needs.
And go! Get him motivated and hand out water and just be enthusiastic.
Enthusiastic, to say the least. Despite being born with autism, Jason's father says his son has never had a problem expressing himself at basketball games.
You know, I was always concerned that he might get a technical and they lose a game because he, start yelling or whatever.
Let's have a hard practice tomorrow, all hour and a half, and let's get ready for Arcadia. Let's go.
1, 2, 3, 2. Because he has been so devoted to the team, for the last game of the season, Coach Johnson decided to let Jason actually suit up. Not to play necessarily, just to let him feel what it's like to wear a jersey.
At least that was the plan. But with 4 minutes to go in last week's game, Coach Johnson stood up and pointed to number 52, Jason McElwain. After years of fetching water and toweling off other people's sweat, Jason was actually in a game. His first shot was a 20-footer from the right baseline.
Was it close? Did you almost make it?
I just airballed it.
I'm like, just, dear God, please, let's just get him a basket.
His second shot missed too, but the third was a charm. A 3-point no-doubter. And Jason wasn't done yet. Not by a long shot.
If I wasn't there to witness it, I wouldn't have believed it,
You caught fire.
I just caught fire. I was hot as a pistol.
Jason ended up shooting 6 3-pointers. One right after the other. He had 20 points total, and each time a shot went in, his teammates and the crowd went a little crazier. His last basket, right at the buzzer, created total mayhem. Because he is autistic, Jason says he's used to feeling different, but never this different. Never this wonderful. Steve Hartman, CBS News, Rochester, New York.
More stories are just a click away, but don't forget to join me on television for the on-air edition of the CBS Evening News. On Friday's broadcast, you'll meet the man who designed the first cowboy shirt. At 104 years old, he's still working, and he's your choice for this week's Assignment America. For CBSNews.com, I'm Bob Schieffer.